Hey everyone, this is Dumont Mayor Angela Bruno. I'm here with our DPW Superintendent Anthony Schiraldi. We are taking a tour around town, ensuring that our roads are clear. We'll wait for a couple more people to join the live event, and then we'll kick off. Right now we're in the White Beaches section of Dumont. So we'll give it a little bit more for people to tune in. We'll give you some updates of what's going on in town, and then we'll go from there. All right, everybody, once again, this is Dumont Mayor Angela Bruno. I'm driving around town with our DPW Superintendent Anthony Schiraldi. We're checking in on the roads, ensuring that everything's getting cleared up. As we know, this snowstorm is just kind of kicking off. We're expected to get up to 16 to 20 inches until tomorrow. Dumont Borough Hall is closed. Dixon Homestead Library is closed. Garbage pickup for today has been canceled. We're going to watch the storm and see how things go, and depending on how bad this storm gets, there might be a possibility that the garbage will be postponed again for tomorrow. We'll definitely put out notices once that happens. The one thing I definitely want to hit on in this video is the overnight parking. Overnight parking has been rescinded, and this is going to be until further notice. This storm, it's going to take us a while to clean everything up. That means no cars on the roadway until further notice. Unfortunately, you know, we put notices out on Facebook, the police Facebook, the borough's Facebook, my Facebook. We did a Nixle blast last night from the PD, posted on the borough website. An email went out to a couple thousand residents. And we also did a reverse 911 call, which goes to all the homes in town that have landlines advising of no parking on the street and all of these closures. Unfortunately, from Police Chief Tom McCary, I spoke to him early today. We had a numerous amount of vehicles on the roadway, and they were summoned. They're going to get summons, guys. Unfortunately, this is a safety issue. We need these roadways clear for our DPW trucks to get down the street. A lot of our blocks are very slim. It's a safety hazard for our guys in the truck. So we want to make sure that the cars are off the roadway. It's also a safety hazard for our PD, FD, and DVAC when they're trying to get down these slippery roads during an emergency call. It's the last thing we want is to have another accident or injury caused by negligence. It's very easy to get the cars off the roadway. I understand not everybody has big enough driveways for the cars, but this is inclement weather, and you know we need to get the cars off the roadway. So this is going to be until further notice. We'll post up when parking is back on for street parking, but until then, no parking in the roadway, and we'll put notice once it's up. You know, during the day and during the night, I know we have to clear our vehicles off and stuff like that. Make sure, you know, when you're not clearing your vehicle off, get it back into your driveway. Keep the roads clear for DPW. They got to get down. They have to clear these areas. The easier it is for them without having to go around vehicles. The better they're going to clean the road, one, and two, the safer it's going to be for them. You know, we have large equipment, tight streets. You know, let's work together as a town, as we always do, and make sure that our DPW guys, you know, have what they need going forward. For some people that are tuning in now, I just want to go over a couple of items. Once again, we're expected to get 16 to 20 inches in this area. Dumont Borough Hall is closed for today. Dixon Homestead Library is closed for today. Garbage pickup has been canceled for Monday. We're going to watch the storm, see how bad this gets, and we might cancel for tomorrow. We will put notice out again if it is going to be canceled or postponed for tomorrow. Overnight parking has been rescinded. That's until further notice. That's not going to be until the snow is cleared. That's until further notice. So no overnight parking until further notice. Once we're back up and running and we can allow cars back onto the street, we will post as we always do. All this information went out on the borough website, on Facebook. Not just my Facebook, but the PD, the borough. We did a reverse 911 for the overnight parking as well, which is going out landline, all calls to anyone with a landline in town. We did a Nixle post from the PD. Email blast went out to a couple thousand residents. So there's no reason that cars should be on the roadway at this point. Unfortunately, summonses were issued by the police department. We have no choice. If your car is on the roadway during a snowstorm, you will get summons, and in some instances impounded if we have to. We have to make sure that these roads are safe for our PD, FD, DVAC, and of course our Dumont DPW guys who are out on the road since last night, making sure that that this snowstorm is under control and that our roads are clear. I'm going to kick it to our Dumont DPW Superintendent, just ask a couple questions about how he prepares with his team and his crew to get ready for a snowstorm like this. So Anthony, can you just walk us through, like, 2 days out, 1 day out, what do you guys have to do to prepare for this type of storm?
Well, during a winter like this one, it's been a very light snow winter, so our plows do come off. We need to use the trucks when there's no snow, obviously. So first thing we do is we prepare our trucks by putting our plows on. That's usually a couple of days before. We also load our salt trucks, so we get the salt trucks out right away. Last night, I believe they were called out. Our standby crew usually consists of 2 guys that are on standby, and then a second crew to get the second salt truck out right away. I believe they were called about 8 o'clock last night. The police department usually calls them out right away. Their brass will usually figure out, if it's starting to accumulate at all on the roads. Now, we knew this was coming, and we knew how cold it's been, so that means that there was no. It was definitely going to be sticking right away, where some of these storms, it doesn't stick to the ground right away, some just untreated surfaces. But in this case, since it's been so cold, stuck right to the road. Police department called our standby crew out last night right away. They started salting. When it gets to the point where salt really doesn't do anything anymore because it accumulates, we call in the rest of our crew. We have about, I think it's about 23 guys out right now, and about 21 trucks out. We have 3 salt trucks that go out. We don't usually salt that much while we're plowing because, sometimes we'll throw some salt down on the hills and everything, but what we'll do is once the snow starts to stop, then we can start salting, and that'll start melting process, and hopefully it warms up a little bit. I'm hearing there's going to be some rain at the end of this, rain towards the end of this storm, possibly in our area, which will keep the accumulations down, but I think we're still set at there. Like you said, I think it's about 16 to 18 inches, they're saying. If I had to guess right now, I'd say we have about maybe 8 or 9 inches, give or take. We've been out plowing since, I believe, midnight last night, and right now the crews are out on their 3rd pass around town. So, as far as preparing goes, we were prepared definitely for this one. It's a very light snow. It's not a wet snow, which is definitely easier for us and also for homeowners to clear their areas too, because it's not heavy. Although snow is snow, and it's just not fun to plow or shovel, but it is what it is. And we chose to live in this area, so we have to deal with it.
You mentioned homeowners. What kind of tips can you give to everybody watching? Things that, of course they have to clean their property, but sometimes you get some residents that dump the snow in the street. What tips can you give our residents to make it a success, not only for you but for them when they need to get out of work and to make sure that their roadways are clear?
I think the main concern that we have is after we plow a street, when homeowners will now push the snow off their property, or maybe pull their cars out and drop the snow into the street. If the temperatures go down, that now turns into a big mound of ice. We were there, we plowed it, the street was clean, and then what happens is, we go back and now there's a mound of snow out there. I totally understand. You got to get the snow off your car, and that's for sure. But there's a time, if you time it correctly, that's the best way to do it. If the plows have just been down your street and you start pushing snow into the street, that becomes a problem because we're going to have a mountain of snow out in the street, and it may not be a few hours before we get back to push again. Right now, our crews, it usually takes about 2.5 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours to finish their whole section. It's broken down into 2 different trucks. We have a center cut and a curb cut. So what happens is the center cut pushes towards the curb cut pushes towards the curb, the rest of the way, and that's how we clear the roads. It's basic plowing. And then we also have machines that go out and do some of the town parking lots, and also the firehouses and the ambulance building. We always got to keep them clear. As a matter of fact, this morning there was an ambulance call. We always work in conjunction with the ambulance and definitely the police. If our guys hear any calls on their radios, or if the police call us on the phone, it just happened this morning. There was an aid call. The police officer that got there noticed that there was a good amount of snow on the dead end, which we plowed, but it was in between plows. So we've started. Right now we're getting, I think it's about 1 to 2 inches an hour. So if we plow and you're done, if you're done 2 hours ago, by the time you get back there, you might have 3 or 4 inches of snow already on there. So we just got to keep on going around and round and round. That's how it works. But there was a call this morning, and we were able to go over there and clear the snow off the dead end for them. So the police department, we keep in contact via radio and phone to work together.
Yeah, now for streets, I know Washington Avenue and Madison and New Milford are county roads, but we're in charge of plowing those as well, correct?
Yes, we go out. Okay. The way we usually do it is, the first thing we usually do is go out and clear the main roads. That's, we salt the main roads. That's the first thing we usually do. Then it goes to the secondary roads, like for instance in Dumont, like the Pew Street, then we also try to get the hills when we're salting. These are the things we go to first. Then we go through the secondaries. We make sure we always get by the stop signs on either side of the road where you're going to be coming to the intersection. We do the best we could to try to keep up with the salt. Sometimes when the temperatures aren't on our side, once it gets below a temperature, really salt doesn't really do anything anymore. No. We working with the temperatures that makes this job very hard. If it's very cold, like it is right now, it's showing that it's 26 degrees. It's supposed to warm up. That'll definitely help us later on in the storm.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Once again, I'm just going to go through a couple things that I went through before. Of course, as we stated multiple times, we're just in the middle of this snowstorm, looking to get about 16 to 20 inches. It's going to go into tomorrow, late tonight. Dumont Borough Hall is closed for today. Dixon Homestead Library is closed for today. Garbage pickup has been canceled. For Monday, we're going to keep watching this storm and make a decision as soon as we can. We'll put the notices out on Facebook and everything like that once we know what we're going to do with the garbage. Overnight parking, I can't stress this enough. Unfortunately, there was multiple vehicles on the roadway during the nighttime. They were summoned by the police department. This is, unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. If the vehicles are on the roadway, they're going to be summoned. So the overnight parking is rescinded, and this is going to be until further notice. This isn't going to just, we're going to put the cars back on the road until the borough makes an announcement on where we can park back on the roadways. Unfortunately, we're going to need the cars off the roadways until that time. We put this information out on Facebook, multiple locations, PD, borough, myself. Email blast went out to 2,000 residents. The PD did a Nixle blast. We also have reverse 911. That phone call goes out to all the residents with landlines, especially our seniors who are unaware of Facebook or can't get on Facebook, might not have the internet. We started that this year so that we can communicate better with our residents that don't have access to online services. And listen, staying off the roadway is not just important for snow removal. It's important for a police department, a fire department, our ambulance corps. They have to get down here with large equipment. With snow, it just makes it even more difficult. Anthony and I can tell you both as first responders. Anthony's also a Dumont FD, of course, a Jersey City police sergeant. We understand how vital it could be to have an unblocked roadway when you're heading to an emergency call. The other thing I want to hint on: if you happen to have a fire hydrant on your property, please make sure you clear that out. It just makes it easier. God forbid. The fire department needs to have access to that fire hydrant. Sometimes, especially in a snowstorm like this, Our DPW guys, they're plowing, and sometimes, these things get covered, and we need to make sure that they get cleared out. So if you have one on your property, please, it just takes 2 seconds just to clear that out, just so at least our fire department can see it. We don't want to get too much ice around that. We want to make it easier for them to gain access to this. And I know we're going to keep driving around today, make sure that everything's clear. The snow is still coming down very heavy. So if you don't have to travel today, of course, please do not travel. Unfortunately, we have residents that need to go to work, and if you have to, please be safe. I know transit's running on a little bit of a delayed schedule today with the storm, so be cognizant about that when you're going out on the roadway. If you need any assistance, you could always reach out to me via email, alabruno@dumontborough.org. You could also go to my website, andrewlabruno.com. There's residents' concerns. You could put in your concern there. If it's regards to the snow cleanup, just give us some time. I mean, people don't realize, we have 47 miles of roadway.
Approximately, yeah.
We have 47 miles of roadway in such a small town, but there's a lot of roads to clear, and like Anthony stated, we also clear the county. We also clear the county roads as well. So we're responsible for clearing all the roadways in Dumont. It's time consuming, but this is what we need to do. This is what we have to do. This is a part of the job. I think it's important for me to come out here today with our superintendent, make sure that everything is copacetic, and we're doing everything we can do to make sure that we have safe roads in town. If you have any problems, like once again, I said my email is alabruno@dumontborough.org. You could also go to my website, andrewlabruno.com. Send me a email that way. We're going to keep driving around, making sure the roads are safe. We appreciate your cooperation with all this, and please just remember that the overnight parking has been rescinded. I can't stress this enough. It's very important. We don't want to issue summonses to residents, but unfortunately, it's a problem for us when they're on the roadway. That means DPW has to move around your vehicle and have to make another pass when they should be paying attention to another road. It's also dangerous. It's a hazard. It's a hazard to our police department. It's a hazard to our fire department. It's a hazard to our ambulance corps. The first responders need to get to our residents as fast as possible, as soon as possible. So we want to make sure that these roadways are clear. Before I go, once again, I just want to go over a couple items. I see a couple of new people tuning in. Storm, we're still in the middle of it, 16 to 20 inches. This is supposed to go until tomorrow, so be safe out there. If you don't have to travel, please don't. If you do, please take proper precautions. Dumont Borough Hall is closed for today. Dixon Homestead Library is closed for today. Garbage pickup is canceled for Monday. We will continue to watch this storm, and if we are going to cancel garbage for tomorrow, we will get it out there via Facebook, 911, reverse 911, email, every single avenue we have to communicate to our residents. It will be out there. Overnight parking, once again, has been rescinded till further notice. That's until further notice. No cars on the roadway, and this is all day and night, not just not at the nighttime. DPW's out there all day. You have 4 or 5 vehicles on a tight street. It's very hard to get this equipment down the block. If the fire department has to come down there, it's almost nearly impossible. So this is these, when we're talking about our first responders and emergency calls, you're talking about shaving minutes off of their response, because now you have to try to get cars moved, and that's the last thing we want for any of our neighbors or our residents in town. So please make sure that the roadways are clear until the storm is over, and until we post for overnight parking again. We will post notice up. Once again, I want everybody to be safe out there. If you don't have to travel, please do not. If you do, just please use precautions. If you have any concerns, you can email me, alabruno@dumontborough.org, or you can visit my website, andrewlabruno.com. There's a button, Residents Concerns. That's also a way to send an email to me as well. And of course, I'm available on Facebook and stuff like that, but it's easier just to send an email. That way I have it memorialized. So just stay safe out there. The one other thing I wanted to mention, I did a post the other day about CSX issue. We do have Montana, the company Montana Construction. They're out here. They're pumping out the excess sewage that we believe was caused by CSX's work. So just so you know, there's a detour coming into Stop and Shop. You could still gain entry into Stop and Shop on Columbia Avenue, but the rest of the roadway is shut down heading westbound. Eastbound is still open coming back into town, but the westbound lane is closed. Please use caution in that area. There's cones set up, police are out there doing traffic, and we have the machinery and stuff like that out there. So once again, please be safe. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and once again, just please, with the overnight parking, we don't want to have to summons vehicles, but unfortunately, if they're out there, they will be summoned. So stay safe, be well, enjoy the snow if you have kids out there. I know they still have I know they still have virtual school, but once it's over, there's enough snow to get out there and build a snowman. So enjoy it, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.